Quick 2 p.m. update because I want to just pump the brakes a little bit on getting overly excited about snowfall. And I want to just kind of highlight two of the main tools that forecasters use for predicting the weather. One of those tools is a deterministic model, which is just a model of the atmosphere basically in 3D. And there's several different types of them. So just on this one website alone, you can see all of the different models that are available. And there's even more than that out there. There's a ton of different computer models that predict the weather. And using this model, this is the HRRR model, and it's been super, super consistent in the timing and in the thermal profiles, the temperature and the um, dew point or humidity of the atmosphere leading into this event. So we can again see that our snowfall is beginning around between 3 and 4 a.m. And it's forecasting a rather strong band of snow that's going to stretch from east central Ohio all the way down into southern Indiana, southern Illinois, Missouri. So just extra lift in the atmosphere causing a really intense band of snow, inch plus per hour snowfall rates. So this model has been consistently showing this. Our surface temperatures are still a little sketchy, sitting right around 32 degrees. And there are some pockets in here, some suggestions that the low level jet might warm the temperature up a little bit to get some mixing, some sleet, and some potential freezing rain, switching over to just rain by lunchtime on Wednesday. So this is one model, but one of the biggest tools that meteorologists have and that the National Weather Service really leans on pretty heavily these days is not necessarily a deterministic model that just forecasts, but it's more of a probabilistic model. And what that is called an ensemble. So ensembles are these collections of different models that all run on basically the same principles, but they all have maybe different parameters that they use, just slight tweaks in the model. And then, if you run 30 different models with all really similar but slight differences, it gives you a general idea of the range of outcomes that could happen in a storm. So one of those tools is the short range ensemble. And this is called plume data from the short range ensemble forecast. And I'm just looking at the mean right now for this one. And the blue is the most recent mean. So this is a collection of a bunch of different models. And I can go back to the latest selected run. And now you see a lot more lines, right? There's all these different models that are run. And then the black line represents the mean, the average of all those different models. So this is a really great way to tell if a deterministic model like the HRRR is accurate and if it's forecasting something that seems realistic. Because if its solution is outside of this range that the ensembles are showing, then we might want to discard that solution, right? Because it's not really within the realm of possibility that all of these ensembles are predicting, which is a pretty wide range of possibilities. So this is going to give us an idea whether or not that HRRR forecast is accurate. So I'm going to just first off turn on this ensemble we've already got it on temp. So the time frame that we're looking at here for snowfall is down here at the bottom of the screen. You can see it. We're looking at 125 in between 6 and 12Z. So at 9Z, that's 5 a.m. That's when we're looking for the HRRR models really showing most of the snow falling. If you look at the mean here, it's temperatures of the mean look to be right around 32 degrees at the surface. We've got some numbers as high as 34, some numbers as low as 29, almost 30 degrees. So the HRRR is pretty accurate. It falls within the range of solutions here. It's actually right on the mean. We're at the HRRR, I think, has us at this time frame right around 32 degrees, and it holds us there for several hours. And the interesting thing about this is there's actually the minimum temperatures occurring closer to 8 a.m., which is a pretty good sign for if you want a snow day, because that means we're not going to get much melting until this this black line, the mean, gets up here at 18Z, which is going to be around 2 in the afternoon. So our melting might occur a little bit later, and we might end up with more sleet and freezing rain, but nonetheless, melting is not going to occur until a little bit later. Now, the thing that I was more concerned about is if we go back to the HRRR and I look at my snowfall totals here, just using a 10-to-1 ratio, I could use Kuchara, which is a big fancy formula for calculating snowfall ratios, but I'm just going to look at 10-to-1 here. I run this out and look at about 9Z. At about 9Z, we've got an inch of snowfall in Franklin County here by 10. 11Z, we're up to like 3.44 inches, right? So here's where it raises a slight alarm to me. And the alarm is raised because when I look at the ensembles, the total snowfall, and this is for Port Columbus, so this is actually out on the east side of Columbus, but the mean is right here at 12Z at 1.47 inches, right? There's a few members that are up here in the 12 or the 2 to 3 inch range, but our mean is down here at 0.96 inches, so barely an inch by 8 a.m. So that's a little bit more concerning. And I'm guessing that a lot of these ensembles are forecasting some sleet in this. And one thing that we can look at, actually, now that I think of it, is going back to the snowfall maps. If I look at Kuchara for my ratios, the liquid water to snowfall equivalent ratio, this is going to show us probably lower numbers because the ratios might not be very good because of how warm the lower atmosphere is. For even though this is going to be a really great snow producing storm in the upper atmosphere, it's going to fall through layers of the atmosphere that are a little bit warmer. So yeah, we're down to like 2.6 for that same time frame instead of closer to 4 inches. So that could be a little hint that we could be looking at some heavy, wet, compacting snow. This is more in the range of possibilities to me because of how the ensembles are, what they are showing, the numbers that they're throwing out. Maybe by 8 a.m., looking at closer to 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches of wet, compacted snow, and potentially not sticking to roadways again. So that still is really a concern. I'm going to keep an eye on the ensemble data, particularly the stuff that comes in tonight, and see if there's any change. And then kind of after that, after our 0Z runs tonight, we'll be focusing on that HRRR model, but really kind of just looking at observations to see what's going down. So that'll probably be the last big update that I do today. And we'll check back in if anything interesting happens on tonight's model runs, or if anything significant changes. I'll check back in and make a quick video for those. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and say we're back down to about 60% confidence level here. The timing is really, really good because the snow is going to start at 3 to 4 a.m. And and anybody that has an early start, we could have some pretty rough conditions for just a period of a couple of hours. So with that, I'm still thinking chances are pretty good, but confidence in that forecast is kind of going down just a little bit. All right. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more, like and subscribe, like the kids say. All right. See you guys later.